You know, the legendary business philosopher Jim Rohn had this really simple but incredibly powerful idea. Every single day is a fresh canvas. And the small, simple things you do, the disciplines you practice each day, those are the brushstrokes that end up creating your life's masterpiece. So let's explore how to paint a life of success one day at a time. I mean, just look at Ron's definition of success. It's so refreshingly simple, right? It's not about some single heroic effort or a secret code you have to crack. Nope, it's just about the consistent application of a few key habits. And that idea is really the foundation for everything we're going to unpack. And what's fascinating is that the exact same principle applies to failure. It's almost never one big, catastrophic event that brings you down. It's usually a series of small, seemingly harmless errors in judgment that just stack up over time. It's like the path to success and the path to failure are paved with the exact same small stones. It all just depends on which direction you're walking. All right, so to really get our heads around Rohn's philosophy, we've broken it down into 5 key areas. We're going to start with the success formula itself, then dive deep into mastering your inner world, executing your daily actions, and building up those lasting resources. And then we'll get to the most important part, how you can take that very first small step. So let's get right into that success formula. You know, it's not about trying to build a mansion overnight. It's about laying one brick perfectly every single day. That daily commitment to just doing the small things right, that's the engine that drives all great achievements. Okay, so now that we get the formula, let's dig into the first set of disciplines, which is all about mastering your inner world. Rohn was a huge believer that our external reality is just a mirror, a direct reflection of our internal state. So this is where the real work begins. Rohn identified these 4 pillars that basically hold up our entire inner world: your attitude, your mindset, your purpose, and your gratitude. And these aren't just, fuzzy concepts. They are active, daily disciplines that literally shape the reality you experience. So let's take a closer look at each one. First up is attitude. Rohn had this great analogy that our attitude is like a magnet. A positive attitude doesn't just make you feel a little better. It actively pulls opportunities, resources, and good people into your life. And a negative attitude, well, it does the exact opposite. It pushes them all away. It's such a simple choice, but with absolutely profound consequences. Next, let's talk about mindset. Oh man, we all have them, right? Those limiting beliefs that hold us back, that little voice inside our head that says, I can't do this. The discipline here is to actively challenge that voice. Just like it says here, a simple switch in your language from I can't to I'm learning how. That can be a total game changer. And this brings us to purpose. What's your why? Seriously, what is the driving force behind what you do every day? Having a really clear purpose is like having a compass. It keeps you pointed in the right direction, and it gives you the fuel you need to stay disciplined, especially when things get tough. And the final piece of the inner world puzzle is gratitude. And listen, this isn't just about being polite or saying thank you. It's a powerful tool for actually rewiring your brain. When you make a daily habit of focusing on what you have instead of what you don't have, you shift your entire perspective from one of scarcity to one of abundance. And like Rohn used to say, what you focus on expands. All right, so once we've laid that strong internal foundation, how do we translate that inner strength into actual real-world results? Well, that brings us to our next pillar, executing your daily actions. The first daily action is all about effective communication. And as you can see, this is a two-way street. It's not just about getting your ideas out there clearly. It's about listening with real empathy to actually understand what other people are saying. That's the secret to building trust and having real influence. Man, this quote from Rohn just perfectly captures the whole idea of self-discipline. It's not about punishment or restriction. Think of it as the bridge, the thing that connects your big goals to your actual accomplishments. Without that bridge, your dreams are always going to be stuck on the other side of the river. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been there? A day just full of frantic activity. You're running around, answering emails, putting out fires. But at the end of it, you look back and think, what did I actually accomplish today? That's the classic difference between being busy and being productive, and it's a huge sign of poor time management. So how do we fix that? How do we flip the switch from busy to productive? Well, Rohn's approach is super simple, but incredibly powerful. First, set clear priorities so you know what actually matters. Second, be ruthless about eliminating the distractions that pull you off course.
And third, plan your day with intention. It's all about you becoming the master of your time instead of letting your time master you.
Okay, so we've got the inner game down and we're taking the right daily actions. Now let's talk about building for the future. This brings us to our final set of disciplines, which is all about building lasting resources. These are the assets you build up day by day for long-term success in freedom. Rohn really pinpointed 3 critical resources that we have to invest in daily if we want to secure our future: our knowledge, our finances, and our own personal development. Think of these as the assets that are going to pay you dividends for years and years to come.
Ron's take on knowledge is just perfectly captured in this quote. Look, a formal education will get you a job, it'll help you make a living. But it's the self-education, the stuff you do every single day, the books you read, the skills you practice, that's what will ultimately make you a fortune.
We've all had that moment, right? That sinking feeling when you look at your bank statement and just think, where did it all go? It's such a clear sign that our finances aren't being managed with that same daily discipline we're trying to apply everywhere else. But the good news is, the solution is surprisingly simple. And here it is, the simple but oh so powerful principle of financial discipline. Spend less than you earn and invest the rest. This isn't about depriving yourself. It's about building a foundation of financial security that gives you the freedom to really go after your dreams. It's a discipline, plain and simple. And ultimately, all of these disciplines, every single one we've talked about, they're all part of the lifelong journey of personal development. The goal isn't to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. The goal is just progress. It's about being a little bit better today than you were yesterday. All right, we've covered the mindset, the actions, and the resources. But you know what? All of this is just theory, it's just talk, until you actually put it into practice. And that brings us to the most important part of this whole thing, taking that first small step. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. What's one small improvement you can make today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Just choose one area, one tiny little action, and take that first step, because that is how real, lasting change actually happens. And that brings us full circle to this absolutely profound idea from Jim Rohn. Success is not something you chase after. It's something you attract by the person you become. So focus on becoming the person you want to be, one small discipline at a time, and I promise you, success will find its way to you.